Ah, damn.
Whoa.
Put that picture in the Discord, please.
Well, it's... Okay, I'll try. It's hard to understand. Hey, we're back. Because we figured something out here. Damn. Okay, so we got on to something with the Great Pyramid discussion here. Willie, how you doing, buddy? In the chat room already. So what we're doing is trying to figure out. Well, I know. Sorry, I'm going to start right from the very start. It's hard to explain. I noticed the base of the Great Pyramid being 440, which is A, the note A, and that is also the note when you go in the King's Chamber and it resonates on A. So I thought, let's find out what some of the other measurements are in hertz and what note are they. So I found that the height is an F sharp. And I can play that for you right now. That's your 440, and this is with the F sharp. There you go. And somebody's making really weird fucking noises in the background here. Wow. Okay, it stopped. Let's try it again. And there's also another octave. Actually, it's up from there, but I can't play it. The best thing I can do is hit this one. That's supposed to go in it. So those are the actual frequencies of the Great Pyramid. What I think you should, that's what my hunch is, that if you play those frequencies in the King's Chamber, something's going to happen.
Yes.
I actually think
Definitely.
it's gonna turn something on. It's like a switch. Basically, it's gonna turn it on.
It's already been activated.
Okay, it hasn't but it hasn't been kept up.
Not all the way.
It needs power, and that is the power, I believe.
Well, the
sound,
power.
I think it feeds off sound, and those are the sounds it wants. I believe
that's the sound of the planet.
Maybe
Those are the sounds it craves. Talk about this.
So basically, we looked at the seismatics of that note, A440, and if you look straight down, it is the fucking pyramid with the bent sides in. And you can see it coming to the peak and how the sides bend in. How it's 8-sided. It demonstrates that. That is the shape it fucking is. So when that sound resonates, it resonates to the exact shape of the fucking base of the Great Pyramid. So we figured something out, man.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I just found the other part of it.
I don't think anybody else has found this out. This was us. We did it on our own. I started just researching shit right on the air and saying, like, well, I want to know this and I want to know. Leo looked up the measurements and we found out that that's the chord. And it's pretty spooky. But I knew there was another note, and that's the height.
I like listening to that one for some reason.
Check it out. The Egyptians took it even further. They figured out the semantics for to make the shapes of their gods and different things, and the Eye of Horus and stuff, which shape it was, which sound made that shape, and that's how they partially formed their hieroglyphics from it.
What we need to do is get another thing in Egypt, measure it, see what the shape is, and see if the shape of the cymatics equals what's on the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this guy, they said, okay, here, let me read this little part that says, um, Sumerian, back to the Sumerian, you'll see a round, it's nearly the sun item on what looks like a table. It's nearly identical to the Semitic shape that measured 237.4 hertz. Somewhere on YouTube, and then he goes into the user. There's a reference point. The sun is a reference point. In another frame, the generator excites the salt on a Chaldean plate, and once the shape matches the picture of on the stone, I held my tuner up to the computer and wrote down. I can't even read this thing, so I have to keep going back. The frequency. It's interesting to note. Okay, my eyes are bouncing. Okay, no pun intended. That in the A432 concert pitch, the D just above the middle C on the piano, or is 288 hertz. And he goes on to it, and they go on to about the shapes. Okay, that's how they got some of the shapes of the Hebrew alphabet was from that, and the acoustical testing on the sarcophagus that they put into the king's chamber because they never had one. Something to do with the Egyptian man was quite bored, and then the guy goes into something else. But basically, he's saying in one part they say that I can't find it here. Here
That
it is.
sarcophagus is too big to pull out of there. It was made inside there. That's what I heard.
Yeah, well, yeah, the thing that's holding, but what was in there's nothing inside of it. There was nothing inside of it.
Well, whatever it is, it was built there inside the thing.
Yeah, and I believe it was a chamber that, like, the sound would trigger it, but not only it would be, start up with power, but that sound would resonate into those chambers, and it would do something.
Oh my God!
A healing thing.
Leona,
regeneration was what I'm talking about.
You won't fucking believe this, but the sound that the F makes, the F is exactly a pyramid too.
Yeah,
it's fucked up and it's a pyramid with 8 sides. Yeah.
There's you got to remember there's the bent pyramid. There's the one that's the step pyramid. Then there's the red pyramid, which is kind of weird. And then there's some that are in Ethiopia that are like really tall. But the ones that seem to be they've never found actually inside of a pyramid a dead body. They don't find them in the pyramids. They find them in caves and shit like they did in Tutankhamun. So they weren't sure what the pyramids were for, but I think they were a dual purpose. It was a power plant. It resonates with the planet, which we are tied to by a magnetic grid, or we're part of it. And so, our bodies and everything are tuned to it. And that 440 or the 432, that's the Zen line right there for us. That's the middle C.
It used to have water running under it too, which releases all
erosion and everything too.
Excuse me.
Well, the bent pyramid was the material they made it out of.
It used to be right along the river.
Well, yeah. Well, that part of the desert was not desert when they built that. It was kind of lush there.
Yeah.
The desert has grown there quite substantially.
Okay, you can get a Simoscope app, apparently, and check it out for yourself.
Huh.
Isn't that cool?
I know that would be cool. Well, like I said, I have a tuning fork somewhere, but I had to move a bunch of stuff in my room. My room's kind of crowded right at the moment. And I can't dig them out, but I used to do that with, take them and do that on sand, like you can do that with a tuning fork. It'll do it.
Yeah, like on a drum
or like on one of these singing bowls, will do it too. I had a crystal one for a while, but broke.
This is what
it was
actually look like. Okay, I'm still looking for a good pictures for you of these notes because you wanted to see it, but it was a big chart, and if you don't know music like I do, then you would have a hard time finding on this big chart which ones they are. And I can't circle it and then put it on post it.
Wolfman, you said that the F had 8 sides
They both
for the
do.
shape?
Yep, they both do. They both are split into 8s. Well, actually, the one gives a shape with bent in sides, like a diamond with bent in sides. But yeah, and that would give it 8
That's like
sides.
the bent pyramid. That's like the bent
The
pyramid.
other one
where
is
it
just a
curves up.
square. Yeah, yeah, and the other one's just a square that's slashed with an X and then another X the other way.
Mm.
That's pretty easy to imagine. So it's got 8 sides. Same thing. If you think about it in 3D, if you're looking straight down at it, that's what it would look like.
Mhm.
The Great Pyramid. If you were looking straight down at it from the sky, both
Yeah,
of these notes actually look like it. If you look straight down from the sky,
Mhm.
they both look like it.
I wonder how long the other pyramids are on the bases.
Well, they're all to scale. They're all scaled down. They're the same pitch and everything. Just a smaller or bigger scale to scale, according to the internet. But who knows? They may just be feeding us garbage on there. Some of it is.
Well,
I remember a time when place you could get
there's
shit
no
like that.
chart on this. Wow. Nope. No, that's hard to find a chart with that. I'm going to try cymatic notes chart. Maybe we'll find it. It would be nice if we found it.
So the Chinese went back to the moon, and we haven't heard a peep about what's over there.
Have you heard anything
everybody-
back?
No, it's all hush hush. No one said anything.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I predicted. I said you're going to hear about it that
Follow
they
it.
went there, and then it's like a tease, and then they won't even tell you what happened.
No, it's like it disappeared.
They
from
went
the
there
news
to have a
completely.
meeting with the aliens. Satellite moon empty. It gongs when they hit it. It gongs like a goddamn one of these singing bowls. It's empty. It's hollow in the middle.
Yeah, its mass is screwy.
Yeah, it's empty, and they have sent stuff over on the dark side, and they did see there was caves there that there was possibility of oxygen down there, like leftover, and like they tested it or something. Because I was reading a thing on the NASA site. I was like, ah, yeah, it's hollow in there because it's up there. It's not a planet. It was, but not. It got replaced.
Yeah.
Like the two suns up there that they're kind of one behind the other.
The craters are all not. You would think they'd be deeper. Some of them.
They're all the same depth. They're all the same depth. No matter how big how big it is, they're all the same depth, which does not happen.
No, it's like there's a titanium inner core or something they bounce off.
It's like somebody made it. Somebody made a fake one. We'll just like for the movies. Spray it on. It looks good. Nobody noticed it until they went there to measure it. But nobody says anything about that, or that it gongs when something hits it for a long time, like 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes.
There's only
It
one
gonged
chart.
for a full half a day.
Yeah, like it's like like I said, it's like one of the singing bowl. It just keeps going around and around and around.
Share. Copy to clipboard.
Where did Dennis go? Anyway,
He left. Okay, I'm gonna put it in Discord. Okay.
When the Russians found out that it gonged like that, there were some papers that said that they thought it was artificial at that point. There's
Yeah.
no explanation for it.
No, there isn't. But common sense tells me that if all the craters are the same depth, which is really beyond weird, and it seems to me that what the hell? That if it gongs and it's like a prop. To me, it's like a prop. So they must have something going on inside of it if it's hollow.
Well, there sure is a lot of titanium.
Okay, I put it in there. I'm gonna go to Spreaker room now. And I'm gonna share it in there too if I can. Live. Come on. Stop that.
I probably won't be here very much longer because I gotta babysit tomorrow, man. But
Paste. Not sure if that'll
You
work.
just decoded the Great Pyramid. Now you're going to go to bed? Come on.
no. I said, oh yeah. I will. I'm usually a night owl anyway. I don't sleep lately
On what?
anymore.
A copy. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought the show stopped.
I gotta make myself an edible.
Why does the chat room say there's 3 more? Huh. Weird. Something's wrong there.
They're
Okay.
messing with us. They don't want us to talk about the pyramid.
I dropped a link for that for that chart
Yeah.
in general chat in my Discord if you guys want to see it. It's also in the
Yeah.
Wolfman. I mean the chat room for Spreaker. I believe.
Yeah.
I tried putting it in there, but it didn't. Wait, that didn't go in. Huh.
That's incredible.
Now you can see that the F
Those
and the
things
A.
are amazing.
You can see that the F and the A. It'll blow your mind. It's you got to go to the ones on the second row. That's A440 on the second row. I believe it's the second row.
Second row. Second row. Okay.
The
Wait.
A
There's
and the
C.
F on the second row. I believe
Okay,
that's
A
it.
and F.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
You can
That's
see
cool.
how pyramidal, and you can see the bent sides of the one, and the other one's
Yeah.
like a. If you look straight down, that's a pyramid from the sky with 8 sides where they're bent in a bit. There you go.
That's interesting. Yeah, there's about 4 or 5 of those ones, but that's one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of notes
And there's
do
the
that.
one that makes the
shape.
sun. The C4.
Okay.
The middle of the C.
How come that didn't go through? That's weird. This only shows 5 comments, but there's. Oh, I'm on a different one. I know why. Monster Castle, Paranormal, Pyramid Revelation. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it works in the Spreaker chat room. I got a link there so you can see it in there too. Cool. And it works. But you have to use a computer.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I
have to
went
be
through
on
it. I thought
I don't know if it works on my phone.
it worked on my iPad.
Yeah, the link's not working for me on my phone, on my Android.
Yeah, they never work on the phone.
She works on hers.
It works on my iPad. It works on my iPhone.
Well, I can also put it in Twitter. I'll put it in hashtag 47 in Twitter too. Hashtag 47 and then talk. You just type hashtag. That's where my chat room is.
Yeah.
in Twitter. You just hashtag 47talk and then attach that to your message. And then I use TweetDeck, and then you're in a chat room. Yeah, you can do that too on Twitter app, but I don't like it so much. I use
Yeah, I don't really get. I don't even have a. I don't even go on Twitter. I stay away from it. Once in a while, once in a blue moon.
Tweet. Okay.
Wolf, and do cymatics make water a different shape than sand?
Oh yes, in water, yeah, huge. Yeah, it does it in water too. Yep. The surface of the water, yeah, it makes the same shapes as the sand and shit. Yep.
Yeah,
I wonder what cornstarch would do.
they do the same thing. Just a different. It'd be slower to it because it's the sound affects everything.
I don't know if you guys got that, but it's really hard to tell which one's 440 on this chart.
Gigi's here.
It doesn't really tell you. I'm not that good of a musician, actually. I know it's a 440. Like, played it on there, so I know it's up here.
Jesus.
I would say C.
Well, C4 there. It says C4 on the left side is a middle C.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a lot of those ones in A make pyramidal shapes. But that one, the second one up, that has the bent sides. And I think that's the one. The second row in A, the second row up from the top down. So you just go over to A, and then there's the first one. It looks like sort of like a flower petals, like a clover, or a 4-leaf clover. And then you go to the next one down.
Under
and
F, 4 and F and rows and A.
You know, I'm seeing something really strange in here. There's lines from the notes beside them that stretch down diagonally into the next row.
Yeah.
It's freaky.
Yeah, your eyes pick that stuff up. Patterns.
But these are the patterns when you use a square shape with Seismatics.
Yeah.
To the notes. And it's the only chart I could find with notes. But, yeah, so it doesn't actually tell you which one's 440.
It's just so weird that notes have
whatever note corresponds to that, we can look it up on the chart.
I'm looking at some.
complex.
I'm looking at some other ones here. Music notation. That seems like the only one that somebody's actually made. It's really hard to tell which one is 440. I wish I knew. But it's not written down there.
I don't know. There's some really good examples of if you go on YouTube and you look up, just type in 440 versus 432.
Yeah.
You'll have one of the guy. It's one guy. One of the top results is one guy plays the same song with the same instrument, the same recording device. One's in 440.
Oh, wait a minute. That's right. I remember now. They showed it. I saw the video, and it was definitely that one because that's the shape it made in the video. So that is the 440. I'm absolutely positive.
Which one?
It is the second one up, second one down in the row of A of in that photograph.
Okay. Yeah, that one.
It's definitely it. It looks like the base of the pyramid with bent in sides. Yeah, because I saw the YouTube video. I didn't post that. But all you have to do is like what Gigi said. just look up A440 and they'll show you the seismatics of that, and it's the exact fucking shape of the base of the Pyramid of Giza. And we just figured it out tonight, Gigi. I don't think anyone else. But I'm not sure.
Wait, I forget which ones. Isn't 432 the one that used to be?
Yes.
That was used forever.
Yeah, and the Nazis changed it to 440.
The Nazis changed it to 440, and that's the thing. All those cathedrals, those Gothic cathedrals, there's like 500 of them that were built back in like the 1200s and the 1300s. We still don't know how the fuck they built them today, but we do know that they were built specifically to acoustically resonate with 432. And if you think about it, think about all the music that we grew up with, whether it's Black Sabbath or Led Zeppelin or what have you, they were all tuned to 440. So basically, what you can say is, even though the music is awesome, it doesn't sound as good as it should have. Because just imagine if it was recorded in 432. And, like that example I was saying earlier on YouTube.
The 440 affects your frontal lobe a little bit, whereas the 432 just hits you right in the center of your head where your pineal gland is, where you would get religious experience if you activated it.
It just feels better. Like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's the right one. It's the one that you're tuned to, but the 440 is one to disrupt your frontal lobe, which they wanted.
And you can really feel it. If you hear the same exact song played in one tuning versus the other, you can really feel it just as much as, like, I know Wolfman plays the guitar. I don't know if you guys are guitar players, but, if, like, I'm really OCD about tuning, like, if my tuning is off just the slightest bit, it just kind of bothers me. Like, I have to have it right in tune. And when you hear a song played in one versus the other, you'll notice that one of them actually kind of bothers you, whereas the other one just feels right.
One of them makes you feel all spiky. Makes you feel almost uncomfortable. It makes you move. It makes you like you got something crawling in your head.
Yeah, and that's and actually, this last record I just did with one of my bands, we did the whole thing in 432, and we redid the record because we did in 440 at first, and then we redid it in 432. Oh, it just feels so much better.
Yeah, that is so cool. So this is like the revelation show of the pyramids, man, tonight. That is so cool. Yeah. We figured something out.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that because I was just looking at some photos earlier today of some old ass photos of the Sphinx from like the 1880s and the 1890s, and before they started fucking with it. And it looks completely different than it looks today. Somebody obviously took a chisel to it between the 1800s and today.
A lot has to do with erosion. And they did find something underneath it, but they won't let us know what it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jay Weiner actually, he found a little half-ass covered up entrance to the below part of the Sphinx, and about 1 second after he started to look down there, some security guards showed up out of nowhere and yanked him out of there. Would not let him down there.
Nope. There's that one guy, Sari Hawass or whatever it is. I call him he's the guy that's a Nazi guy. He's a archaeological Nazi.
He's a fucking idiot. He actually, did you ever see when Zahi Hawass and Graham Hancock, when they were supposed to debate, and Zahi Hawass actually tried to pretend that he didn't know what Göbekli Tepe was? This is 2 years ago.
Dude, it exists. You don't keep up on shit too much. He's the guy that, because I knew somebody that had gone down, that was there when they opened it up, and that was during all that turmoil in Egypt, and they just shut him out of there.
That guy's a real fuck bag. I hope he gets hit by a bus on his way home tomorrow or tonight.
Okay, we can do that.
See,
the siren should come after he gets hit.
That's the exact sound that he would make if he got hit by a bus. He would go, woo!
Yeah.
He'd be like a little Babalooey that fell off of Quick Draw McGraw's little thing. It's all right. Never mind.
What the fuck is YouTube doing now, man? I can't believe the fucking YouTube app. This is shitty as fuck.
Yeah, I know. I have to go on the regular internet and just get on it that way.
You gotta be kidding me.
Well, are you using the iPhone or are you using Android?
I'm using a fairly new Android, Galaxy 5.
I'm not much better on the iPhone either.
I just can't believe it, man. I can't really. But there's an inbox that's kind of cool. Wow, that's kind of neat.
Yeah,
so it's more like wow.
Yeah,
you can connect with people on here. Like you can chat with people. It's becoming like Facebook. You got friends on here.
Yeah, when it works. Yeah. When it does work, it's really cool. I also have Android, and because before the app, I didn't even know that there was an inbox. And once I got the app, I saw like years worth of messages that I didn't even know fucking existed because there's no way to look at them on the internet. But, well, I guess there is. It's just not very obvious.
Okay,
when you have,
it's not a bad app actually. Once you get used to it. Because that's kind of neat. And if you go to your library, that's where you find your history.
They keep changing it, though. Because I used to put...
And I like to clear my search history. It's not letting me do that. That's what's pissing me off. But either way...
I don't think you can do that on the app. You would have to log into an account on the computer and do it that way.
Yeah. It's not letting you do it here, that's for sure. You can get to the history, but you can't clear it, which is really stupid.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Because you used to be able to, and they took that away from you. So now I can't find that video with the seismatics of A440, but that's easy for you to find. If anybody wants to find that, just go on YouTube and put seismatics with a C. CY Cymatics A440 or just Cymatics 440.
Another thing I like about the app is, I don't know, maybe you can do it on the computer too, but I like how you can make playlists on the app,
Yeah.
Any video you see, if it's a similar topic, you just throw it in the playlist and then bam. But hey, wait a minute, Wolfman, which Galaxy phone do you have? Do you have the S8 or the S9 or the S7? What you got?
The 5, something like that. Galaxy S5 1 or something. 5. I don't know. It's a 5.
Oh, you got that S5. Okay.
It's not that old. I think there's one newer than that now. When I got it, it was the newest one.
Yeah, I've got the S7, but I've had it for like 2 years, and it's about like it barely even works. Like I can't even charge it half the time. But I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I don't know what mine is, to tell you the truth. It's got the new plug-in, and it works fine.
Are you talking about the double plug, where it's like got two different little ports in one?
You can put it in either way, this one. It's the oval hole, and you can put the plug in either way.
Oh, you've got like the S8.
Okay.
Or maybe that's the...
Yeah, this is a pretty new one, because, it has a different sort of plug.
So you've got USB-C. So is that does your phone allow you to have the SD? Can you put an SD card in there, a little micro SD card, or does it not have that?
I can't remember. I think I got one in here. I don't know if I need one.
Because that's a deal breaker for me.
Huh. I don't believe I put one in here. I think it's got tons of memory and you don't really need it.
Well, you would think.
I don't
my phone.
think so. Yeah,
My
I don't
phone's
think
got
this
100.
thing... I don't even know where you plug the fucking... Holy shit. I can't even see where you plug in the thing. Yeah.
Well, it's probably in the same spot where you put the SIM card. It might be a little tray that pops out. You have to have like a little pin. You push it in there, and it's.
I can't even see where you do that. Weird. Oh, it's probably because it's in a case. I'd have to take it apart. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have one in there. I can't remember. Why?
Well, I'm trying to figure out because I've got the whole. I'm due for an upgrade. I've had this piece of shit for 2 years. They're gonna let me upgrade to a new one, but I'm just trying to figure out which one has the SD card ability, which one doesn't, because I store so much shit on my phone. I've got to have that memory card option. But anyway, I'm sure nobody
gets a new phone too. I got a couple more months.
Okay, that's January 20th when we see the blood wolf moon. And it's a total lunar eclipse.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. In Canada here. Anyway, I'm not sure about you guys.
Yeah, I doubt
exactly 1 year after sighting of the super blue lunar eclipse, Canadians will be treated to a full wolf moon, creating a total lunar eclipse. According to the Weather Network, since the moon will be very near perigee, its closest distance to Earth, it will be a super blood wolf moon, total lunar eclipse. That's a lot of things all at once.
I'll get to see it if it doesn't rain the way it's been raining here.
And no, we didn't make that name up. The eclipse is expected to last a total of 5 hours, 12 minutes, with the total eclipse lasting for an hour or 2 minutes. Schedule. And there's charts you can get for different areas. You'll probably be able to see it, Darren.
Darren left.
8:41 Pacific time. If you're in my time, it's just before midnight, 22.
Damn, I'm literally gonna be. I'm gonna be on a
Eastern
flight during that time.
Well, maybe you get a good view of it.
Yeah,
maybe. Right? Yeah. Maybe.
Should the skies remain clear, everyone in Canada will have a chance to see it. The next total eclipse over North America won't be until May of 2022. So keep this in mind.
Yeah.
You'll want to have a clear view of the sky and a camera ready for when this day comes. And if you want to look at the eclipse and you don't have the lens, because I saw one just a little while ago with my son. I saw the last one here in Canada. We just had one not too long ago. And what you do is take a candle and a piece of glass, and then just let the candle blacken the glass. You go close up to it near the flame, and just keep moving the glass around until that glass is blackened really good from the candle, and you can use that to look through. It's safe.
Word. Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You can make your own black lens. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to fight. Hopefully, I can see it from the plane. I need to try to get a window seat because I'm flying on Southwest, which means, it's just first. There's no assigned seats. It's just whoever gets there first.
Yeah, first come, first serve.
So I'm gonna have to, just pull up. I have to be like Walter Payton, and just dive over everybody, tuck and roll, and fucking.
Just act like you're in Italy or someplace and shove everybody out of the way.
Yeah. Do a couple of stiff arms.
So,
jump
Gigi,
over the
this is what the Great Pyramid from the dimensions that I've figured out what notes you should play inside the King's Chamber from the dimensions of the pyramid. I believe it's telling me to play definitely this note, and that's the note that resonates. So it makes sense. It all makes sense. And this note too.
What note is that?
A and F sharp, and that's from the dimension of the base, which is 440, and the dimension of the height, which turns out to be an F sharp. I did my research on the air. We figured it out. Leona and I figured it out, and then we looked at the cymatics of that, or the cymatics of that. And if you look from the air, the cymatics look like, if you were looking down at it, the cymatic pattern looks like a pyramid if you're looking down at it from the air. So it's the exact same shape.
Dude, that's something that I've tried looking this up so many times. Like, every note has a different cymatic frequency.
Yeah,
right?
so
like
we found a chart. I posted it in the chat room of this show that we did it. We fucking sleuthed it out right now, and we figured it out, and I was right. The cymatic pattern is exactly the shape of the walls, how they dip in. You know how they dip in, and it's an 8-sided pyramid, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Well,
oh
there
my
you
God!
go.
Okay, I see the chart. Yeah, I see the chart now. Dude, I've been looking for a chart like this for years. I haven't been able to find it.
I had to dig that
We
up.
found it.
That was the best one I could find for a square shape, for cymatics of a square shape and musical notes. So there you go.
Okay, yeah, there's still. I like how it's all in C too, because I'm really interested in C.
No, that's just showing the octaves there. That's what those are.
Yeah, well, at least they're relative to C. That makes it easier for me. Kind of hard to explain, but it makes it easier for me. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of like if you go back to like ancient Armenian, ancient Turkish, and ancient Indian, not only megalithic structures, but just ancient structures in general. Some of those some of those cave cut ancient structures. They've got all these different tiles, and they have all these different patterns. And for the longest time, people just thought they were just kind of designs, but no, they're actually designed after somatic frequencies.
Well, they said there's one thing that I read. They made shapes of the Egyptian gods. They figured out the shape of the sounds, and they actually found they did hieroglyphics that way.
Oh, and there's the octave too. The measurement from the base, like if you go straight from if you're taking the height, the measurement of the height, and you go straight down from the top peak, straight down to the middle of the floor, and then go straight up to the front door. Well, that's 220, which is an octave higher. Well, actually, an octave lower. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the note right there. It's an octave lower. So that is the exact note right there. And that would be the chord. I got a little Casio beside me here.
All right, I'm back. Yeah, I'm gonna step away for a second.
Oh, I was trying to show you the chord, Gigi.
Yeah, play it again. I missed.
Okay. Hang on. Yeah, because there's also a low. A higher. Yeah, no, a lower. Sorry. The measurement from the center of the floor or the base, the ground level base to the front doorway, basically the middle of the front wall, is 220. Exactly 220. So obvious,
okay,
so that's obviously because the sides are 440. So that's an octave right there. So if you want to play,
so I've got
play all
wait,
three
hold
notes,
on.
and if you play all three notes, the F sharp with the octave. Cool.
All right, so can you look at this chart with me real quick, and so let's say you have let's say you have your guitar in typical E standard tuning, right?
Yeah.
Which one, your top open string, top open E, the first string, which one is that on this chart? Which somatic frequency? Is that the third one from the top to the right?
Sorry, I'm not on that page anymore. I was actually looking for a better one, but I'll go back to it. Wait a minute. There's a cymatics sheet music for piano. What the fuck? Okay, cymatics music harmony. There's whoa. Here's one with the notes and what? Oh, that's no shapes. Okay. No, there's no shapes there. No, the one I found is the only one I can find. The one with piano notes and cymatics. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of
so basically what you want to do is start at the bottom and the top left side and go in 3, and that's the E right there. It looks like a pyramid without bent sides. The E is perfectly looks like a pyramid. If you look straight down at a pyramid, it's just like an X'd out square.
Yeah, I see that. So if you were to
would be E.
So we play in C standard, which is a couple steps down. So is that going to be the first one at the top left corner?
Yeah. If you drop your E string down to a C, then it would look like that's what it would look like then.
Okay. Interesting.
Now that's the cymatics of a square shape. They're totally different when you use a circular shape and do the cymatics. Like you could just take a circular pan and put sand in it or whatever. Or a square one, and they do different things. But since the pyramid is square, that's why I got an absolutely perfect fucking somebody did the work for me chart. In the video, though, if you see the A440 in the video, in the square pan that they do with sand, it makes the exact shape of the base of the Pyramid of Giza. Exact. With like the bent sides in. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's been I forget the guy's name, but yeah, there's so many, not just the pyramid itself, but also different sections in the pyramid, specifically the Great Pyramid. Yeah, they were tuned very specifically to that for different notes based on that too.
Well, I already know that the Great Pyramid in the King's Chamber resonates to the note A, 440. That's already been figured out. And so that's when I saw the base is 440 cubits, I thought, well, some of those other measurements have to be harmonizing A440 or something. There's got to be other numbers here from the measurements. And that's just the basic measurements that we took, and they we're hitting on something here. And the other one was 356, but I don't have my chart here anymore. I don't think that was close to any note. It was like an in-between note. Chromatic. And I have no idea what it would sound like. I can't make that sound.
I just think it's so amazing how these people so fucking long ago, I mean, they actually had the foresight to leave something with all these clues and all these mathematics in a way where we could fit, like, our society is so dumb. Like, we couldn't, like, what are we going to leave? A carving of Kim Kardashian's ass? And like, that's what our society contributed, you know? I don't know. Got like a can of soup, you know? I don't know. We'll eat something. These people had this mathematics and frequencies all completely mastered. And this was before, you know, we called the pyramids Egyptian, but really, you know,
Yeah, we don't know.
the Egyptians, they found it. This was already there before they got
it. It was already there.
Yeah.
So who the fuck knows who these?
Well, there's been more than one try at. Humans have only been more at this. We've been wiped out about 4 times, according to the Mayans and everything.
Probably.
And then and
yeah,
we just have to start all over again. It's like the mini one was Black Plague. We lost so many people that people went back. We actually went backwards. Because the big cities were empty. Because 2/3 of the population was dead.
Yeah, but here's the thing that concerns me, though, is that our generation, or our cycle, I guess you could say, the one that we're currently in, that's probably coming to a close sometime in the next couple of generations, right? Maybe a few generations from now, at least at the rate we're going. But here's the thing, all of the previous cycles have all left something. Even the one before the Black Plague, they left us with those cathedrals. We still don't know.
Well, yeah, that was a mini one. That was a smaller version of it. It
definitely was a smaller version, but at least
we could not do that. We could not, there's a lot of bad things, but there is a lot of good things. You just don't hear about it because it's not the good things that they don't report and shit. Yeah, people are being shitty to each other, but they could stop.
No, but I'm talking more about the fact that we don't have any sort of
technology. Yeah, that's all we have.
Don't have anything to leave future generations to let us know that we were here or what we knew. Everything, every piece of technology we have, every type of construction we have is going to be absolutely decimated by the next cycle of catastrophes. Whereas, the Egyptians, they figured out how to build some shit. Not even the Egyptians.
They built it in stone.
They built it. They figured out how to build some shit that's going to withstand time. But we are the first cycle over the last few cycles that don't have anything that's going to withstand the test of time. And
we have one thing. We have like the what's that? Mount Rushmore with the faces. Anything that's set and made in stone. That's why Göbekli Tepe and all those hung out. Is because they're all made in stone. Maybe. If you want something to last, stone is your best bet.
Yeah, but the problem with Mount Rushmore is that there's a good as soon as Yellowstone pops, that shit's going to be covered in lava for probably hundreds of thousands of years before anybody figures out.
No, lava cools fairly fast.
Yeah, it's going to cool over it. And nobody's going to know.
Yeah, but I mean, it may not necessarily go that way. If people put their aware, you don't know. So I know psychologically that as a human race, and they've even found it right before there is a disaster on a weird level. Everybody knows it's going to happen because they've tested. They keep records of that crap.
Oh, yeah.
In Europe. Yeah. And so I think a lot of the things that were going to happen, we stopped by where we put our thoughts. It's I mean, even like quantum theory backs that up. Everything's a particle and a wave when it's before it. And in other words, and then when we put our awareness on it, then it decides what it is. So that's where we can make changes. And that's why they say it's the only moment that we can do anything is the now moment. It's right now.
And that really, what you just said, that's one of the trippiest things you can possibly think about is the fact that particles on a quantum level and probably
are
on other
not a yes or a no, black or white. They're
like
in between.
They act in impossible ways. They act like waves until you decide to actually observe them. And then once you look at them, then all of a sudden they just decide that they don't want you to know how it works. And they simplify themselves into an actual,
Well, they're both at the same time. They're a wave and a particle. It's the only thing that they found in science that either is not a yes or a no, black or white. It's in the gray area. And that's where, when they say, where your focus goes, your energy goes, and you can change the world by what you think and how you think about yourself. That's why it works. There is a experiment, they call it the 100th monkey effect.
Right.
Where everything you look at is a particle in a wave.
Well, I guess we're moving on.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to try that. I actually read
it almost
this.
sounded like the Addams Family, like harpsichord.
Well, that's the chords that I'm given. That is the chord I've been given by the dimensions of the pyramid. If they did that on purpose, 440. Okay, 280 would be here. That's 280, and then we got that going. That's it, right there. That's fucking weird chord, man. It's really spacey. I just realized I did it wrong. There's a C sharp in there too. So the C sharp actually perfectly goes with the F sharp. Exactly perfect. C sharp, F sharp. And then throw an A into it. And it's really weird. Holy fuck. Anyways, if I'm right, that may unlock a key and maybe activate some sort of sequence of events if you do that in the King's Chamber. I think that might do it. I believe it's activated by sound, and that is if 440 is, and that's too much of a coincidence. 440 is the width in cubits. They used meters as well back then. By the way, I'd like to tell you that they didn't just use cubits.
I remember each planet makes a sound too. So I wonder if the planets that are in a galaxy that are in sync going around the sun, I wonder if their sounds mesh together or if they clash.
Well, that's
curious.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's something I think about all the time. Is the resonance that each planet makes, right? But according to NASA,
I wonder what Earth. That's the other thing I want to know. What frequencies does the Earth make?
Well,
and I wonder if it's going to have an A440 in it.
Well, but that's the thing.
Actually, it's raised.
According to NASA, sound can't travel in space, so technically it doesn't make a sound.
Yeah,
but
I don't believe that.
I don't know.
It makes a vibration.
Well, you need molecules in order to vibrate. So there is still molecules in space. They're just further and further between.
Dark matter. Dark matter too.
And
gotta remember,
if it was a total vacuum, it would rip you to shreds.
I don't know. I think NASA's full of shit.
Yes. They're absolutely full of shit.
It's half and half. Some of it is a fact, and some of it is bullshit.
Especially, I just watched some. I don't know if you guys know David Adair.
Yes.
One of the smartest motherfuckers on the planet, and I was talking with him about how NASA's official calculation on how to come up with the mass and the gravitational pull on the planets literally cancel. Like, if you actually do the math, the mass cancels out, which means, to put this in perspective, according to their calculations, Mars could be the size of a golf ball, or it could be the size of 2 suns. According to their math, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. But wait a minute. If you're trying to find out the mass of something, how does the mass of that something not matter? It literally doesn't make sense. And then somebody actually confronted them about it, and they came up with some really shitty excuse, like, oh, well, it's kind of an estimate based off of light refractions, blah, blah. So basically, you don't know. That's basically what you're saying. They don't know how fucking big.
Well, what's really funny is they used to have
how fucking big anything is. All of their
formulas for things that don't work. Their formulas don't work anymore. Some of them.
Yeah, I mean these. Yeah, no, they don't know. It's amazing.
It's the time element of it, because before when they did carbon dating and stuff, they had a formula and it included gravity, time. Well, the time they used was a linear time, and that one's not working anymore. It's being off by a lot more than it should be, and they're finding other formulas are like that.
Yeah, so, and that's another thing. NASA talks about gravity as if it's this one singular force that we understand what it is and how it works. Really, we
don't have a clue.
The real definition of gravity is there's a bunch of different forces and different rules of reality in the universe that we don't understand how the fuck they work, and all of these different principles, all of these different properties of the universe that we don't understand.
Sounds like Star Wars or something. Or that meditation music for the skitsy. Oh God. I some of the stuff scientists act like they know everything, and they don't know hardly they're guessing at most of it.
Well, we don't know. They just make it up. It's just a fucking. They know what's going on, but they're not going to tell you. If we knew what the fuck they knew, everybody would just go nuts now, and you'd be so pissed off.
Well, it's because they don't understand a lot of it, and they neither do.
They know a lot more than we know, but they also don't know shit at the same time.
Exactly. Like the scientists used to say the world was, it was a certain way, and that was it, and there was nothing else, and they knew everything, and it's changed many ways, and it's like you don't know everything, because I've actually heard things on a documentary. They're going, well, the Neanderthals, they just died out, and I'm going, no. They didn't. We absorbed them. You just have to look at the population. About every fourth or fifth person has that some Neanderthal trait. And sure as shit, later on down the road, should have had a V8. And guess what? We absorbed the Neanderthals, and everybody on the planet has it in their DNA. That's just common sense. So a lot of the scientists, they don't use their common sense.
Yeah, no,
basics.
Some equations that they're taught are supposed to figure something out. Then they use those, and they think, just because you get an answer at the end of an equation doesn't mean that it makes logical sense. Just like with gravity, just like with the mass. You get an answer at the end of the equation, but it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Or they try to squeeze it it's off 20 cents, like a book, because I used to be a bookkeeper for a while, for about 8 years, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just squeeze that in, I'll just make it fit. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know that if I add these columns up and these columns, they equal that, but I have no idea why. And it's like
they're just making it fit. They're just making it fit.
Yeah. The theoretical ones, the theoretical sciences, I understand a little bit more as far as where they're, in theory that works. They always got to find the math. But sometimes things aren't definite and can't be quantified.
Well, and here's the biggest hole in all of astronomical mathematical theory is Neil deGrasse Tyson pointed out in an interview just a couple of years ago. He was like, yeah, the Earth is not a sphere. Not at all. It's actually below the sun.
Kind of an oval.
it's a lot fatter than it is on the top, and it's more like a pear shape. But then you have to go, well, wait a minute, because all of the math that dictates all the size of everything in our solar system and everything in the universe is based solely on the principle that our Earth is in a perfect spherical shape. But you're telling me that it's not a sphere. So by de facto, you're saying that all of the math that we've ever figured out over the last 500 years is completely fucked because it's all based on a planet that is not shaped the way that you thought it was.
But we're close to a circle. We're the closest thing is to a circle that they could get.
Yeah, but it's not even close to a circle. Like
I know.
All of the math is off. It's all.
It's like it's sort of a circle, kinda. If you know,
it's a pear, really.
Yeah. Well, as long as it works and we stay on it and don't fly off it, we're good.
There's a difference between a sphere and a pear.
Oh, I know. Like for all their bullshit, it's like okay, math is one thing, and it's like they say it's the universal language. Yeah, it is. But not everybody.
It's not a pear at all. It's slightly
oval,
wider at the equator than it is from pole to pole. It would be longer. It would be wider.
No, it's not. Well, yes, that's true. But it's not just that. It's not just that though. It's also the southern hemisphere is wider than the northern hemisphere, like quite literally, like the shape of a pear.
Okay,
like the.
Now,
the bottom
if you want to see a fucked up looking planet,
here I'll show you.
Okay, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. I'll show you something. Take the water off the planet and then look at it. Then you're going to see what the planet really looks like. The water is all sticking to it. If you take the water off of our planet, it looks like a fucked up thing. Check it out.
Yeah, it looks like a fucked up potato that's been left in the street.
It would. Yeah, a rotten potato. Yeah. It's not even round at all.
You know, like a top that spins.
It's not round. Our planet isn't. Everyone thinks we live on this round ball planet. It's not.
No,
if you take the water off, take the fucking water off and look at it. It's just a chunk of fucking. It looks like a big chunk of rock that blew off of fucking something else. It's not round. That's where
the moon's
the moon is fucking round and ball. We're not. If you take the water off the Earth, it's not round.
But you know, they think that the moon came from being our planet being hit, and a piece of it falling off when it was when it was still in the lava state, and that's why we got the moon.
All right, so right now I just posted a link in the speaker chat to a pretty realistic photo or generated image of how Neil deGrasse Tyson explains the Earth, and if you see on the bottom hemisphere is wider and more round than the top, and then of course at the equator it's obviously the widest. But the point is, it's not a sphere. So if every bit of mathematics that we've ever used to describe the universe is based off of the Earth being a sphere, then all of our fucking math is wrong. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's why.
Yeah, but that is very, very okay. This picture is very exaggerated.
Well, it is exaggerated.
Extremely exaggerated.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that is close. That is the sort of shape of it, but not anywhere near that much. If you go
it's not that
that's really exaggerated. It's not really like that.
Yeah. But it does. But it makes the same point though, and the basic point is it's not a sphere, which means all the math is fucked.
Cheers to you, Gigi, for making the
anywhere near that much. If you go
it's not that.
That's really exaggerated. It's not really like that. Somebody needs to turn off your background device, please.
The basic point is it's not a sphere.
No, especially if you take the water off.
Why am I hearing myself from like 10 seconds ago?
Well, I don't know. Somebody's playing the background device. They're playing my show and listening to it while they're on the air with me. They got to stop doing that.
Gigi, you make a great point that the Earth has been misdescribed.
Yeah, well, it's not. That's not the only. Yes, the Earth has been misdescribed, but the fact that it's been misdescribed means that all of the math that we're using to figure out every other shit has been based on the Earth being a sphere, but it's not a sphere. It's a completely different shape.
Hey, how you doing,
everything we
buddy?
think we know is all fucked. NASA's a bunch of fuckery. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, lies.
I rest my case.
And throw it out the fucking window, man. Throw the fucking. There, we're finished. Okay, picture of waterless Earth. Images of waterless Earth.
I love watching like Google Earth, like the ocean bottoms and stuff. It's fascinating.
Yeah,
dude, I cannot get enough of Google Earth. Like, there's so many cities that I've never even heard of, little countries I've never. Every time I get on there, I find a new country I've never.
Been hours.
Yeah, there's quite a few places, areas of the planet that they keep changing names of the countries.
Yeah, but
They
there's
can do
Burma.
that one.
I mean, just look at China. There are so many massive cities that
Oh yeah, I know. And lots and lots and lots
Excuse
of people
me.
in them. Lots.
like if you really wanted to disappear, it's actually no problem. You just fucking fly out there and just get lost in some random city, Bojang, and bam, you're gone. Nobody's gonna see you. Yeah, I'm thinking about.
I like looking at the Greenland too, without the ice. They have
Yeah.
that huge canyon. It's like the Grand Canyon. It's just amazing. Waterfalls in it and everything.
Wait, isn't Greenland the one that's covered in ice, and then
Yes.
ice is the one
Yes.
that's livable?
Green, yeah.
Yeah, just like
And they're
within the
both very, very volcanic.
Why did they
you
not?
can look through the ice now. And
One was an advertisement. They were trying. Some Viking wanted his people to come to the island. He comes there, so he called it Greenland, basically, or made it sound good. Hey, come on, stay over here. Hey, it's beautiful. It's all green. The name of it's Greenland. Come on over here. And sell it. I do that.
Okay.
That's like that
I'm
sounds
gonna
like something
drop
I
it.
would do. If I discovered Joshua Tree, I would have called it SeaWorld.
There you go. I dropped a
You
picture
know
of.
what you hear what happened down there? Some idiot in the middle of the night went and cut a whole bunch of trees, all the trees down. They got it permanently closed right now.
What are you talking about?
Joshua Tree.
What do you mean? What do you mean,
They
Joshua?
went in there. Somebody went into the park and cut the trees.
Are you talking about the actual little recreational park,
Yeah.
like the national
The park with the tree in it. Yeah, the national park.
Oh, I was talking about the town. Wait, I didn't hear
how
about.
many?
When was this?
Just recently. A couple
All
of
of
weeks
them?
ago.
I mean, there's a lot of.
Yeah, somebody went in there and because there was nobody on duty because, it happened at the beginning of the shutdown of the government. There was nobody there and somebody went in and cut the trees.
You mean like the
How
Joshua?
many?
Yeah. All of them, from what I heard.
That's you.
Wow.
I
That's
don't know if that's
disgusting.
possible. That's a massive fucking area, and half of it is not
Well,
even traversable.
They said most of the main trees, they've got the park closed permanently right now.
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, because there was no park rangers or anybody there, and it was at night. Somebody went in there and just lighted up their chainsaw and just decided, well, got me some wood now. You know?
Well,
Up
honestly, there's never park rangers there. You can go.
Well, but they usually have people that fly over and stuff. At least that's what I read in the article.
I mean, yeah, they have that marine base kind of nearby, but nobody really watches over the area because it's usually pretty chill.
Yeah, well, some yokel idiot went in there and decided, oh well, they're not going to come get me because the government shut down, and Mr. Trump said it was okay. Fucking idiot!
Is
And following that,
Is the government still shut down right now?
yes, everybody's freaking out, man.
Well, I don't give a shit, but I just think it's stupid as fuck.
Well, it's going to affect everybody.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah, it's really fucking things up because they got it all shut down, and now it's the battle of Trump wants his wall, or he's going to throw himself down on the ground and do a tantrum. They're going, nope, 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 because that's a real stupid thing. Because you can put a wall up, but they're still coming in underground or through drones or whatever. Then just caught someone off the Florida coast.
God, that
Yeah.
wall is the stupidest fucking thing.
And he wants to make it of this special steel because he owns part of the company that makes that steel.
Fuck that.
He's a
Listen,
piece of
John, first
shit.
of all, nobody wants the fucking wall, okay? I don't
Yeah,
want the wall. I'm not
move.
going to build it. Are you going to build it? You're not going to build it. Who's going to build
No,
it? Mexico.
I want the guy gone.
I don't know. If I was you guys, I would go for it because it'll cost less. It costs less money to build that wall than
But the problem is
than it does
to
to spend on deporting all these people in a year by far. By far.
But I know, but they've already have a partial wall there, a big swath of it. You can't put a wall there because you can't build it. They build there because of the terrain. And they've already found tunnels underneath, and they just found another big one and they've got coming in. They're going to find a way.
I see what you're saying. They'll just find another way through anyway, so it'll just be a waste of money. Because you're going to end up spending the same money anyways on deporting them.
Yeah, it's not going to deter anything, and all it's going to do is cause the ones that can come over here, because they have the borders closed, which they only have one border open. They're only letting people through one. People are going to get here anyway. The isolationism does not work. They've tried it for banged their head on that many times. Many countries have. It doesn't work.
And plus, on top of that, I mean, the Mexican culture is already fully integrated into
Texas, and if they do jobs that people don't want to do.
Exactly. Who's going to mow all the grass? You know,
I mean, who's going to go out and pick some of the fruit? And and I live in a state where there, a lot of these people are my friends. I find, of course, don't let criminals in. No wonder they're going to get in any shit, wall or no wall. They just
anybody that comes in illegally.
The wall is just the stupidest fucking.
It's a waste of money. He's throwing a fit about it because he didn't get his way. It's like a little kid throwing himself on the ground saying, "I'm going to hold my breath until I turn blue if I don't get my little wall."
In the meantime, we've been fighting over $5 billion wall.
The country hostage by it. He's the one that got it to close. Yeah,
we've got $105 billion more in debt in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like this whole wall thing is basically a distraction to whatever Trump's really fucking up with.
He's a spy.
National debt is what's really fucked
put
up.
there by Putin, and that's all there is to it.
The fact that we have to.
There, now I dropped it in there for you. There's a picture of it says flatearthsociety.org, but there's a picture of what they want you to think.
Yeah.
The not them. They're skeptical of this, but this is what the government has given out and says that this is what the earth looks like without water. And,
without water?
Yeah, this is what the earth looks like without water.
It would look even more fucked up than that.
I don't believe this is what it would look like. I think it would look a lot worse than that.
Yeah, I think it would look worse.
And then look, they show you that cube of water right there would fill all that up because it's that thin of an area. I think it's way deeper than that, man. The oceans.
Well, what are like the Mariana Trench and all those?
I don't know. Maybe that is what it looks like.
They're deeper than it is to go up.
I don't know. That's pretty weird, man. I don't think that's what it looks like. They're showing big drops going off the sides of the continent. It doesn't do that. It's a gentle slope.
Some places it does.
Some places, but not everywhere. Look at it. Where's the beaches?
They took the beaches out, man.
Yeah. That's fucked. I don't know, man. Maybe that is what it looks like. I don't think so, though. But, yeah, it's hard to find a picture of the Earth, and Google must have one. I tried to get it.
Well, I just bought my granddaughter a globe for Christmas. One of the little things, so her and I can go through and she's like 5 years old. And I'm thinking, just dawned on me now, it's completely round. It's like a basketball. That is rude, teaching my granddaughter that's the wrong shape. don't like that. They shouldn't do that.
Earth without water. I'm going to try a different search. I'm still looking for the one that Neil deGrasse Tyson showed, and it was fucked.
But did he draw it?
No, he showed an image of what he thought on the, and yeah, it was more like this thing here. Let's see what else I got. Earth without water. Go back up here and more images. Dead planet Earth without water. That's Earth. Here it is. This is the one. That Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yep. I found it. And yeah. It just looks like a random shape. Yep. This is more or less what I think. It should look like this one here. I'm going to copy that and going to go into the Spreaker chat room and I'm dropping it in there. Okay, there you go. That's the one. Check that out. That's Earth